So it's Foundation Inspection Friday. Today we are talking about your business as it relates to multifamily. And what's important to note here is that as you're building out your business, how small or how large you are, you need to start tracking and creating your process. Because ultimately, as you go through these steps, you're going to want to replicate this from what you're doing for project to project to project. And you're also going to want to learn and adapt and be able to test what you're doing so you know it works. And then you're able to, again, do that process. And as you grow, you're going to bring on teammates, and you don't want to become a taskmaster. You don't want to become the person who every single time something has to happen, you have to stand there and do that same process and show them how to do it again. You need to have your core manual, how things are actually happening, so you can just hand off the manual, allow them to adapt to what's there, and repeat. And of course, if you're now going and trying to put everything into Google Drive, and that's going to be the place that you're going to operate from, and everybody's putting files in there, but everybody's naming them different from project to project, and you may have one person putting in a T12 with the letter T and 12, and then on the next project, the person is putting it in as trailing 12, spelling the word out. Now, every time you're trying to search something, you're not able to search appropriately because ultimately everybody is doing their own thing and they're not following the process. Seems small, but think how that can just shut down an operation if that's going on a large scale and you need a document. It's crucial and you can't find it because it wasn't inputted correctly. So today you need to start thinking about your process, thinking about how it's operating. And if you ever want to pull yourself out of the business, or on a morbid level, if something happens to you, well, you're basically leaving someone with a mess, not a business. And that's where a lot of dysfunction comes from. That's where a lot of arguments come from if you want to pass this business down to your kids and they don't know what's happening because ultimately you've been the business. You haven't allowed the business to be a business because you're the business. And without you, nothing happens and nothing is able to happen because there is no process. So no matter how small you are or how large you are, think about this. What happens if you actually just stopped right now and gave yourself a couple of days away or gave yourself a couple of hours? Does everything stop? And a lot of us are at that point in some point where we drive the business. We're the taskmaster who's tasking along what needs to happen from day to day to day. So take note of what you're doing. Take note of where you can improve and what processes need to be done. All right. Happy Friday. Let's do this.